It's Friday, September 6th. I'm Cameron Bailey, Artistic Director of the Toronto International Film Festival. Here's a film that will melt your heart. It's the new film by Liza Johnson. It's called Hate Ship, Love Ship, and it stars Kristen Wiig. Now, we know Kristen Wiig from her incredible comic turns on Saturday Night Live and her very funny movies. This is a slightly different performance from her. The film is based on a story by Alice Munro, the great Canadian short story writer, and it's really a character study more than anything else. Kristen Wiig plays a woman who's very reclusive, very quiet, who begins to develop a crush on a man who's a bit rougher and tougher than she is, who's played by Guy Pearce. And this woman, Kristen Wiig's character, who has never really shared her life with anyone else, never really had a romance, finds herself being drawn out by a guy who is just a bit of a brute, but somehow finds something in her. And it's a beautiful story of these two people who could not be more different, finding a connection. If you like Kristen Wiig's comic performances, you'll be interested here to see that she can do a lot more than that. She can do some very nuanced drama as well, and she and Guy Pearce are terrific together. That's Hate Ship, Love Ship by Liza Johnson. Here are two films that will thrill you. The first is Cannibal by Martin Manuel Cuenca from Spain. It's a story of a man who works as a tailor in a small Spanish town, but he has a rather disturbing sideline, disposing of young, somewhat attractive women who wander into his world and then making a meal of them, literally. It's remarkable as a premise that this film is able to not be gruesome. There's no real gore in the movie. It's really a kind of a suspense film, a chiller more than a horror film, but it's got a terrific performance at the center, and the director is fully in control of the material. You're drawn into the story. You find yourself somehow empathizing with this horrific man and being taken along on his journey. That film is Cannibal by Manuel Martin Cuenca. Southcliffe is the new film by Sean Durkin, the US independent filmmaker who made Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene. I call it a film, but it was actually made for British television. This is an interesting change of pace for Sean Durkin, but the style and the approach of the filmmaking is very much the same. It's a very cinematic piece. It's done in 4 parts, and it's the story of a British soldier who returns to the UK from Afghanistan, a broken man, a changed man, and a very violent man. He erupts and goes on a killing spree in his small UK town, and then the story is really about what happens after that. What is the aftermath of that act? What happens to the townspeople? What happens to the media who descend on the town, and how everyone comes to terms with this incredible act of violence. Sean Durkin is expert at getting under the skin of his characters, and he does that very well here. Southcliffe is told in 4 parts, each of them about an hour long, and it's the kind of thing where if you like British television and you like to binge on it, this is one you want to commit to. That's Southcliffe by Sean Durkin.